I have had an irregular response to what happened to me. I understand that I have not found the experience terribly traumatic. I have moments. I have pockets of sadness, but they're not common, and it's usually related to like a specific thing. I can't do that anymore, or and because the idea of losing your mobility in a heartbeat like that is a very, very large concept. It's not something that in a moment you can be have this wave of realization of all of the implications. They happen sort of piecemeal, but it's a difficult thing because you can look at it in a couple of different ways. I'm a very stoic person, and Stoicism obviously teaches us that we don't control what happens to us, but we do control how we feel about it. And I could sit there and be like, well, I've been in this terrible accident and I've lost all of these things, or I could think, holy crap, I should have died. I'm so lucky that I get to be here, and that that we can be together, and all of the things that I wanted most, for our relationship and everything, well, I still have, and I really nearly didn't. And so I, rather than being sort of upset about what happened to me, every day I pinch myself at how lucky I am.
Well, Jonathan's one of these people that like, I genuinely mean it. Nothing really phases him. Like, he won't, like, if he comes up against an obstacle, like we've just got a piano because Jonathan plays the piano, and he couldn't use the sustain pedal anymore. So instead of going, I can't use the sustain pedal anymore, he's found a solution in order so he can use it. And now he's working with a friend of ours, his son, to make this thing that means he can play the piano. So Jonathan is one of those annoying people. because I don't, I say this to my friends, we all call him Superman because he is. I don't know many people who would be as strong as you are. He just handles things, and he just goes, it's fine, it's not a problem. Nothing is, and if it is a problem, he finds a solution really, really quickly. And I think it's about, he's very good at being in the moment, Jonathan is, and he's very good at not projecting too much into the future because we don't really know what's going to happen. So he deals with things in the present, which takes a lot of worry and anxiety off the situation. And I think that's something that I need to learn, and lots of people.
I think there are, it's little pockets of sadness. The beach was one of my favourite places. I'm a real water person, and we were staying at a place in Chichester because Amanda was working, and you wanted to go down and have a little walk on the beach and a little paddle and whatnot. And it was, the beach is inaccessible anyway. It's like one of the least accessible places that you could be. But this one, it wasn't just sand. There was like big shale rock, and it was just, there was no way that I was going to get down there. And that was upsetting because that felt like a real loss. And I tell you, it is not just the idea of your loss of mobility. I think one of the things that people don't really consider that is very affecting is your loss of touch. How amazing that sensation of taking your shoes and socks off and stepping onto a sandy beach. That feeling is not something I'll ever feel again, and that's upsetting. But at the same time, as Amanda said, I'm a problem solver. That's just my nature. So that was the first time I went to the beach. The second time I went to the beach, I had found a chair that was specifically adapted to go onto the beach and into the ocean. And the first time I went into the sea after my accident, I went scuba diving. I did, lying in the hospital and, considering all of the different things that I'd lost, I was pretty convinced, given how new our relationship was, that I could add Amanda to the list, because this wasn't what she signed up for, and it seemed very unfair of me to expect her to sort of honour our engagement. And so I gave her a get out of jail free. I said that literally to her. I remember leaving her a voice note, and obviously it's not what I wanted, but at the same time, it like I said, it seemed fair. And I remember seeing the sort of 3 dots of death as she was replying, and she sent me a voice note back and told me not to be so stupid, and that the only thing that we needed to discuss was our wedding plans. So
yeah, it was never. God, no, never. That's not even. It wasn't even on the table. It just didn't. The only thing I wanted was you to get better and come home, and it was never an issue. Didn't even enter my head. Wouldn't have done.
No, nobody connected us in the whole time. I was in hospital for essentially 6 months, and nobody connected us with SIA or any other spinal charity. Just the baseline is hard.
Yeah.
And so if you've got all of the support, across the board, then you can make something that's incredibly difficult as easy as it can be. And I think that's really the challenge.